What if I told you that the United States as we know it might never have existed? What if one battle, one decision, one stroke of bad luck had changed everything? Today, we re-diving into a fascinating alternate timeline. What if the American colonies had lost the Revolutionary War? Let's rewind to the 1770s. The air is thick with rebellion, but in our timeline, things go differently. Perhaps the French, bogged down in their own financial troubles, decide not to aid the fledgling American cause. Or maybe the brutal winter at Valley Forge completely shatters the Continental Army, forcing a surrender. Whatever the reason, by 1781, instead of a victory at Yorktown, General George Washington lays down his sword in defeat. The rebellion is crushed. So, what happens next? First, the immediate aftermath would be grim for the leaders of the Revolution. Men like Washington, Jefferson, Adams, and Hancock would be branded as traitors to the crown. Public executions for high treason would be likely, serving as a chilling warning to any other colony thinking of rebellion. Others might flee, becoming exiles, their names erased from history books or remembered only as failed insurgents. The 13 colonies would be brought back under strict British control. The freedoms and self-governance they had fought for would be stripped away. Imagine a massive British military presence permanently stationed along the East Coast. Redcoats in the streets of Boston, Philadelphia, and Charleston would be a daily reality. Taxes, like the Stamp Act and the Tea Act that sparked the Revolution in the first place, would likely return, but this time, they'd be even heavier to pay for the cost of the war. The colonists would be paying for their own subjugation. Now, let's think about the map. Westward expansion would look completely different. The British Proclamation of 1763, which forbade settlement west of the Appalachian Mountains to maintain peace with Native American tribes, would be strictly enforced. The pioneer spirit, that drive to push into the frontier, would be stifled. Instead of the United States expanding from sea to shining sea, we'd see a patchwork of British territories, French and Spanish holdings, and sovereign Native American nations. The Louisiana Purchase? It would never happen. The idea of manifest destiny would be an alien concept. The land we know today as the American Midwest and West would have a completely different history, culture, and population. What about slavery? This is a complex and dark part of the what if. In our timeline, the British Empire abolished slavery in 1833. If America had remained under British rule, it's highly probable that slavery would have been outlawed in the colonies decades before the American Civil War. This means no Civil War, no Emancipation Proclamation in 1863. While the end of slavery would be a monumental good, the path to it would be entirely different, imposed by an empire rather than fought for in a bloody internal conflict. The social and political ramifications of this would be immense and are truly staggering to consider. Now, let's zoom out and look at the global picture. The American Revolution was a beacon of hope for independence movements around the world. It inspired the French Revolution, which in turn reshaped Europe. Without a successful American experiment in democracy, would the French Revolution have happened in the same way, or at all? The wave of democratic uprisings that swept across Latin America in the 19th century might have been just a ripple. The British Empire, without the humiliating loss of its American colonies, would be even more powerful, its global dominance unchecked for much longer. The 19th century wouldn't be the American century in waiting. It would be the century of an undisputed Britannia ruling the waves and much of the world. Think about the world we live in today. The U.S. Constitution, a revolutionary document that has influenced countless other nations, would not exist. The very ideas of a government, of the people, by the people, for the people, might have remained just philosophical dreams. Global politics, technology, and culture would be unrecognizable. Would there have been a World War I or II as we know them? It's impossible to say for sure, but without the United States as a major global power, the balance of the 20th century would be completely different. In this alternate world, the territory might be called the British Dominion of North America. a loyal and integrated part of the empire, much like Canada or Australia became. The people living there would likely have a strong British identity. They'd drink tea, cricket might be the national sport, and they'd sing "God Save the King" or "Queen." The accent would probably be a fascinating blend of regional American dialects and British English. It's a powerful reminder of how history hinges on single moments. The success of the American Revolution wasn't guaranteed. It was a long shot, a gamble that paid off against incredible odds. This alternate timeline shows us that the world we know the freedoms we often take for granted, and the very identity of being American, were all forged in the crucible of a revolution that could have easily gone the other way. The past is a fragile thing, and a single thread pulled differently could have unraveled the entire tapestry of our modern world. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into an alternate past. What do you think would be the biggest change if America lost the war? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoy exploring these historical what-ifs, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more. We'll see you in the next one.